For a decade and a half, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has built himself an empire in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. As of this upload, he has accumulated 3 championships along with 56 wins as an Xfinity Series owner. But before Junior Motorsports was ever a thing, there was another team he co-owned. In the early 2000s, it was called Chance 2 Motorsports. The team name originated from Chance Racing, the team his father found back in the early 90s. Not only did Dale Earnhardt Jr. race, but his brother Kerry Earnhardt and his sister Kelly also did as well. 2 seasons after the passing of their legendary father, they wanted to bring the team back in some capacity, hence the name Chance 2 Motorsports. It's important to note that even though they had connections and technical alliances with DEI, these 2 teams were very separate operations. The organization kicked off its first race in 2003 with a win at Daytona, and it was only natural that Dale Earnhardt Jr. would lead him to that victory, and many more.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. under caution will come to the checkered flag to score his 3rd victory of Speed Weeks, something his famous father did 4 times. 3 Speed Week wins, his 16th career Busch Series victory for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Earnhardt Jr. brings them around through the tri-oval. Nemechek looking, but there is nowhere lower to go.
2 laps to go, but this will be the race. That'll be the race.
But if that car slows much below pace car speed,
It's still running. He's fine. He's not going to get on that 18 degrees of banking. He can't pass the pace car, but he wants to stay right with it. Wiggling back and forth.
I can see the line. Don't pass that pace car.
and Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins it.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to lead every lap on July 4th at Daytona, his 4th consecutive NASCAR Busch Series restrictor plate win and his 3rd in 3 tries this season. Earnhardt Jr. takes the Winn-Dixie 250.
Junior might have gotten the team's first 3 wins in its brief history, but it had a plethora of drivers. Steve Park made 1 start for the team at Las Vegas with an impressive 4th place finish. Hank Parker Jr., who had 2 career Busch Series wins up to this point, also made some starts that season as well. In 3 starts for the team, he scored 2 top 5s along with 3 top 10s, the best finishes being a 5th at both Kansas and Atlanta. Tony Stewart, who was still looking for his first career Busch Series win at the time, even did a one-off race with the 3 doors down paint scheme. Despite leading a race high 86 laps at Michigan, he wound up finishing 11th. These part-time runs might have been good for sponsorship and yes, also performance, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. realized that he needed to plan for the future, hence the next driver on our list.
How about the car owner perched on top of the pit box there, Dale Earnhardt Jr., co-owner of the Martin Truex Jr., of course, his other owner, Teresa Earnhardt.
That's the number 81. Truex is from New Jersey. Didn't sound like it in his interview. He has been racing the Busch North circuit for several years. His dad won at New Hampshire in the Busch North Series, and he's had some wins and ready for the big break.
And Martin who? I think that's what some Junior fans were asking at the time, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. knew exactly what he was doing. Truex Jr. got his first big break with Chance 2 Motorsports, and it was the break of a lifetime. He didn't score his first top 10 until later in the season at Bristol, but the final 2 races he ran were absolutely amazing. 2 straight runner-up finishes at both Rockingham and Homestead. His 6 starts in 2003 were enough to warrant a full-time Busch Series ride for the 2004 season. Now this is where things get a little confusing. Junior won the 2004 season opener at Daytona in the 8, but it was for DEI. The actual Chance 2 Motorsports entry for that race was actually the 81. In 2004, Junior ran 3 races with the team, consisting mostly of super speedway events. He actually got blocked heavily in the Daytona race, going for the lead on the final lap, but was able to make up for it with a win at Bristol.
White flag. 1 more lap.
White flag.
Can Kenseth get close enough to him? Watch the back bumper.
Watch turn 3. Watch how far he goes in.
Hello. Oh, not quite close enough. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins it.
His 3 starts saw him score a win, a pole, and 2 top 5s and 10s. The next guy up to drive the 81 was Tony Stewart, once again in a one-off event, this time at Kansas.
That's going to be a tough car to pass.
There's the wall, and there's Tony, and there's Nemechek trying to get, and there's contact. Stewart is around. Nemechek goes to the lead. Caution is out. The field is frozen.
Oh, look out. Wally just barely missed him on the inside.
It's going to be a green-white checker.
It sure is.
Once again, Tony Stewart found himself snake-bitten. While leading at Kansas, he came just a tad up on Joe Nemechek, and that first career Busch Series win would have to wait until 2005. But while that Bass Pro Shops car was struggling, the other one was having the season of his life.
All right, this will be the race right here. Remember, no red flag. Martin Truex crosses with 2 to go.
No caution flag. We're still racing. Turn one.
Benson in trouble.
Got drilled by Stremme.
Stremme's car's torn all to pieces right in front.
Caution is out now. Caution is out now. They'll come around with 1 to go. White flag and caution.
It's over. It's over at the moment of caution. Truex, as long as he can come around 1 more lap under caution, is going to go to victory lane.
Wow.
While under caution, Earnhardt called Truex on the radio and decided to put their video game strategy to a real-life test.
Tell Bart, it's like Talladega BR, and he'll know what I'm talking about. Talladega BR.
Joey told him Talladega BR, and he said, hell yeah.
It was pretty obvious when he said it, what he was going to do, what he wanted to try to do. And we've done it a million times on the game, and figured we might as well try it on the racetrack, I guess, and it worked out really good.
Martin Truex Jr. gets the win.
Pretty much coast home from there. And of all these people here, nobody is sitting down.
Everybody on their feet cheering Martin Truex Jr.'s 3rd win of the 2004 season.
Here comes Martin Truex Jr. on the outside. They're in lap traffic. Bobby Hamilton Jr. on the inside. It's a drag race down the backstretch. They come into turn number 3. Bobby Hamilton Jr. moves to the outside. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. as they come out of 4. And Martin Truex Jr. will take the checkered flag at Nazareth.
And now he doesn't have to worry about green, white checker once the white flag is displayed.
Well, before the race, we talked to him about the Mark Martin spinning around. The caution is out, but the white flag is already waved, and so the race is over. Martin Truex Jr. wins.
Truex should be able to coast her home from here, and here comes Hornaday closing in, challenging for second.
And the youngster from New Jersey continues to thrill him in the NASCAR Busch Series. What a job, man.
That he does as he wins the Sandtown. He dared to rock 250.
Just like his boss did in the Cup Series, Truex Jr. had a total of 6 wins in the NASCAR Busch Series. The only difference is, the 8 in this scenario walked away with the title. Martin Truex Jr. was the 2004 NASCAR Busch Series champion. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had already proven that he had an amazing eye for talent. The team's final season in 2005 saw mixed results. In the Cup Series, DEI was really about to go on the downswing, and naturally it would trickle down to the Busch Series with the Alliance and all. He opened up the season strong with a 3rd place finish at Daytona, but his other 3 starts saw him score only 1 top 10, and unfortunately 2 DNFs.
Uh-oh, Junior, I think you picked the wrong line there, Junior. What's going on with the 32, Marty?
Well, BP, the longer this race goes, the better that car gets for Jason Leffler. They've been a little bit tight, and look at this. Kenny Wallace.
Oh, right in front of everybody. Earnhardt Jr. in the grass. Earnhardt gets into Tony Raines trying to avoid
And Raines across the track. It's David Green.
His final 4 starts for Chance 2 Motorsports saw only 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s. Now, the next driver on this list is going to seem very random to some of y'all, but OGs remember this dude. While Junior has had some hits in terms of identifying future talent, he has also had some pretty far misses. Ryan Moore was plucked from the NASCAR Busch North Series in 2005 to make some select starts for Chance 2. How bad was it, you ask? Well, to put it like this, he's the only driver on this list to make multiple starts with this team and score 0 top 10s.
Oh, caution is out. Ryan Moore. Too bad. 81 car on the right-hand side of the screen.
He's on the inside of Tim Fedewa.
Now he's on the inside of Casey Kane.
And Tim Fedewa's didn't like that move, so he's going to turn him off turn 4.
Wow. So Ryan Moore out of the race. Going to go back to the hauler and watch the end of it on TV. Just wait a minute. They didn't give me the key. Oh, man.
Somebody will be here in a minute with the key.
Wait till Mom gets home. There's Martin Truex Jr. in the 8. Clint Bowyer in the 2. Bowyer is 10th. Allen on car 8.
This is unbelievable, Bill. I think by the end of the day, if he's able to come up with an up-front finish, the car count that Martin Truex Jr. has passed all day, well, that's tight, is going to equal a very high number. I think the important thing for him now, he can see the 2 car again.
And he waves to thank
Ryan Moore.
The Moore car.
And, the 81 car is his teammate.
Yeah.
He really wanted the boy to cut him some slack because he got very, very close to it in turns 1, almost spun out. Dave?
And Clint Boyer has noticed that 81 car is a team car to the 8 and has been very annoyed at how Ryan Moore has been, well, I guess in the way because he's fast today. Ryan Moore is a good race car.
Yeah, well, he's in the way for everybody. At least it's not, he's being equal to his teammate and the rest of the field.
And to defend Ryan Moore, he's trying to show somebody he has ability, that he deserves to be in the NASCAR Busch Series.
This would turn out to be Ryan Moore's final start in the NASCAR Busch Series. Just a combination of dumb moves like racing his teammate who's competing for a championship like that, and also rumors going around that he wasn't the easiest to work with, meant that his time in NASCAR was over. Even though the 8 team in the Cup Series was completely falling apart that season, the 8 team in the Busch Series was looking to go back to back.
Headed for 7 and 8 and the start-finish line and the checkered flag. Martin Truex Jr.'s last Busch Series win came at Memphis. He was 4th at Daytona and takes the checkered flag. Martin Truex Jr. wins the first NASCAR point race in Mexico.
Oh boy, here comes Lewis to the high side. This is it. This is for the money.
Yeah, he looked. He's smart enough to, you got to get back down in line or you're going to lose. I think he got it all right, but Kerry just about got him.
Home field advantage for the driver of the Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Martin Truex Jr. gets his 3rd win of the season at his home racetrack.
Off the final turn with Harvick in his rearview mirror, Biffle on Harvick's bumper. Sees the checkered flag. Harvick looking to make one more move, but there won't be enough room, and Martin Truex Jr. wins at Daytona.
And he picked up 3 or 4 car lengths on that corner.
To gain that ground on you right now.
Whoa! This is where the mirror comes into play?
Yeah.
Edwards on the high side in turn 4. Martin Truex Jr. trying to win on his home track. He won't hold off Carl Edwards, and Martin Truex wins in New Hampshire.
Nobody able to mount a charge up front. 2nd place might be the closest challenge as we come to the finish, as Sorensen continues to try and work over Clint Boyer, but Martin Truex Jr., the defending series champion, is going to make it his 6th win of 2005. Truex to the checkers at IRP.
This time, the Busch Series Championship went all the way down to the final race at Homestead, with Martin Truex Jr. edging out Clint Boyer. His 2nd championship season saw him score 6 wins, 15 top 5s, 22 top 10s, 3 poles, and an average finish of 10.5. But before his team in the Cup Series in Furniture Row shut down a year after winning the Cup Series championship, Truex's Chance 2 team in the Busch Series shut down right after this race. As a matter of fact, Junior Motorsports' debut took place in Chance 2 Motorsports' final one, but they would have to wait until 2008 until scoring their very first nationwide series win. Chance 2 Motorsports only lasted a total of 3 seasons, but the legacy they left behind was astounding. 2 Busch Series championships, a total of 16 wins in less than 100 starts is something to be proud of. And even though Teresa Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr. might not have had the best relationship, the partnership they had in this brief time period as car owners was amazing to see. At the end of the day, Dale Jr. wanted to start his very own venture, and even though he didn't find immediate success starting out, he eventually did, and now that team perhaps could move to the Cup Series in the near future. Chance 2 Motorsports will forever be one of my favorite teams. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.